What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today we're going to talk about Tesla energy. I think this is a very overlooked piece of the story. When people think about Tesla, sure, they're an electric car company. They make the Model 3, the Model S, the Model X, these awesome, sexy looking electric cars, but their mission and the goal of Tesla is much bigger than being a car company. They want to transition us off of fossil fuels. That means becoming a truly energy technology company. And when you think about Tesla overall as a company, it's sure they sell cars and electric vehicles, products that consume energy, but they also sell products that store energy like big batteries for the grid or your home, and products that produce energy like solar panels and now their solar glass roof. And I think this trifecta flywheel of products that consume, store, and produce energy is really what Tesla's going after, and why I'm so excited about the potential of them to reinvent our entire energy ecosystem, and why that is, when people talk about like, oh my God, relative to Volkswagen or Ford or GM, the valuation looks crazy. Well, that's because these other car companies are not green energy companies. They don't have solar panel and battery businesses remotely to the extent that Tesla does, or the vision to really go all the way with these. So in this video, I want to do a quick dive into the numbers behind Tesla's energy business, what I'm expecting, and then why at the end, I think 2021 is going to really be the breakout year for this side of Tesla's story. This is what the energy revenues look like now. A little bit misleading that it's down in 2019. I'm going to go into this, but I think it is just gets overlooked. This is literally $1.5 billion a year business for Tesla, and I think is poised for massive, massive growth. So the first part of that, let's start with solar. Tesla does sell solar panels, the normal solar panels that you can put on your roof, but the part I want to focus on right now is the solar glass roof, literally putting solar panels in your roof. I think this is a totally game-changing piece of technology, when you think about the long-term history of humans getting solar energy, retrofitting panels to put on your roof looks ugly. It's super expensive to install. You're literally doubling up on a roof and then adding solar panels into it. Like, it just doesn't seem like that was really the sort of click to make that solar energy or rooftop energy generation go mainstream. Well, a couple years ago, Tesla unveiled their solar roof, which is a product that embeds solar panels into your roof, still makes your roof look beautiful. You almost can't even tell they're there. At the same time, they want to make the roof more durable so it can last longer. So now you're not only having to pay for a roof, but you're also paying for this sort of energy generation storage device. I think this is the holy grail of what homes will look like in the future. Amazing solar roof that's just integrated with a battery, with a Tesla charging in the garage. So for the past years, they've been perfecting this technology. If you're going to install something on a roof that's going to last 30 years, you need to really test it. And so that's what Tesla's been doing. But now they're on V3 of the solar roof, which I've seen in person. It looks beautiful, slightly bigger panels. They've been tweaking the design, making it easier to install. And now they're putting it in more and more stores, and they're planning to start ramping installations from a very small base now. Literally, as we speak, they're ramping installations of this product in California. And I think this is going to be the next leg of Tesla's solar business, because since 2016, they acquired SolarCity, which was a company that Elon Musk was originally involved with, is founded by his cousin, and solar deployment shrank dramatically. Now, there's a lot going on under the hood here, but really what Tesla said is SolarCity was losing a ton of money. It was a super bloated business. They were spending so much on sales and marketing, customer acquisition. Tesla was like, screw this. We're just going to put our solar panels in the stores. We don't need all these call centers. We're going to streamline, totally switch SolarCity's business from a leasing model to more of a cash sale model. So this meant a huge shrinking of SolarCity's business and sort of reworking, or maybe even restructuring. What have we seen recently? Solar leasing relaunch and solar glass launch in Q3 has started to pick back up solar installments. And if we go to an annual basis, you can see these were shrinking until 2019. But now that Tesla is growing again, they have guided for 50% growth in solar deployments for 2020. So I've mapped that out, still a way, way lower than what they were. But the point is, this solar business is about to return to growth. And so that was a huge drag. Remember, that energy revenue going down in 2019 is because solar deployments were falling so dramatically. But now it's about to reverse. And that's also going to be helped by accelerating growth in the battery business. So that's the other piece of Tesla's energy. They make batteries for your home, which can store the energy produced by your solar panels. And they're also making bigger and bigger batteries for the grid, arguably a much bigger business opportunity. In Q3 and Q4 of this year, they just launched the Megapack, a 3 megawatt sort of massive battery assembled right at the Gigafactory, shipping around for utility grade storage. It sounds like this is something, sort of the first economical use case that Tesla's seeing for these big batteries, is to help stabilize the grid. And so that is something that's just getting off of the ground. And even without, or the Megapack just being launched, we have seen huge growth in these battery deployment numbers. Almost every quarter, they're putting up a record number of battery deployments, 530 megawatt hours in Q4. On an annual basis, this is what we're looking at. So Tesla's battery business, that solar business has been shrinking, but the battery business has been exploding, just consistent growth here. And at the same time, Tesla's been so cell constrained and battery constrained building its cars, it hasn't even been able to really focus on this business. Yet even despite that, the battery deployments have grown like crazy. They've also guided for 50% growth in this side of the business. So I've charted to what that looks like here. As you can see, that would be about 2.5 gigawatt hours installed in 2020. And so adding this all up together, here's how this ties into the financial picture of energy revenue. I think we're going to resume to growth in 2020. I assumed about 45% revenue growth versus Tesla's guidance of 50% growth in batteries and solar, just because maybe pricing comes down. Maybe I want to be conservative. Anyway, I picked 45% growth. That got me to revenue of $2.2 billion this year. Now let's talk about the profitability of that revenue. The gross margin here has been pretty weak. It was 22% in 2017, then 12% for the past 2 years. So not actually that profitable. And if you take into account all the SG&A, all the R&D, all the salespeople, all the extra costs in the store level that Tesla's doing to run its energy business, I would actually say this has been a drag on the overall profitability of the company from an operating basis. But anyway, if we go forward, I assumed another 12% gross margin in 2020, 0.27 billion, 270 million in gross profit is what that would get me. And I think I assume that because I think, the solar roof is launching. I think that's going to have a lower gross margin to start. I also just wanted to be conservative. Then I assumed for 2021, another year of 45% revenue growth. And I still assumed gross margins there held at about 12%. And that would give me a gross profit of about 390 million. So anyway, this is what I'm kind of expecting for Tesla Energy to play out in the coming years. And what I think is really interesting is, as much as the vehicles have dominated the headlines, I really think we're on the cusp of seeing a next evolution of Tesla's business, as the economics of driving like big revenue deals for this energy business are really hitting their stride. The Megapack is launching. They're approving these battery and energy storage deployments. We're going to see growing economies of scale in terms of gross margin there. Then you have the solar glass roof finally launching, finally out in the wild, finally ramping. That's just going to be accretive towards the top line for years to come as they scale that solar roof. And I was taking a step back. The more and more I think of the potential of batteries are one thing that get me excited, but this solar thing has really just, I can't get over it, because I'm like, every single roof that's being built, there's 4 to 5 million new roofs a year built in the US. If you do a price of 30 grand per roof, that's $120 billion. I think it's actually North America in potential new roof revenue per year, 120 billion. So, I mean, the roofing market is massive. It hasn't been disrupted for years. And Tesla's coming to the market with something that can produce you energy and last way longer. This is a no-brainer economically if you're building a new roof once they scale this. And so I think Tesla's sort of behemoth in the making here is their energy business, and that solar glass roof is just frankly a game-changing product. In 10 or 20 years, I think it'll be ridiculous to think that you would be building a new building with roof space that wasn't, productive. It wasn't generating energy. It wasn't alive. And that is the vision that Tesla's building, and it's taken them a long time to figure out how to get the solar panels cheap enough, how to integrate them into the roof, make it look good. Now they're working on how to install that profitably. I think that's going to be extremely hard to replicate. You add on the fact that Tesla has the most people buying electric vehicles. Those people also probably want solar glass, so you don't have the sales and marketing customer acquisition costs that competitors would have to face. It's a super naturally organic and accretive sort of adjacent business for Tesla, being tens of billions of dollars of revenue a year product. But it's going to take time to get there, of course. But this is the reason why I'm like not selling any of my Tesla stock, and I think they should be valued more than an automaker. And this is truly an energy story or an energy technology company. And the last thing I want to say is the battery deployments. I mean, I'm talking about huge batteries for the grid, but Tesla also had a project in Australia to power 50,000 homes via this virtual power plant situation. So there's lots of different ways to basically accelerate the addition of, when you have solars and wind and all these new types of energy going onto the grid, to stabilize those intermittent energy production methods with something like batteries is a huge and massively growing business opportunity. And I just think this is not getting enough light. But what's going to happen in 2020, we're going to see accelerating growth, return to growth in the energy business. More and more people are going to start focusing on it. I'm hoping the profitability improves as well. And then I think 2021 is truly the year where Tesla's energy business hits its stride. The solar roof, they could be on V4 by then. They could be installing it way faster. This could be significantly ramped, maybe $1 billion a year in revenue just from the solar roof a year from now. The battery business is going to be reaching new heights. Megapacks will finally be deployed. Like, I just think, as much as we're talking about battery investor day for vehicles essentially in 2020 in a couple months. I think in 2021, I actually floated this idea to Tesla, and I hope they're listening. I think we should have an energy storage or Tesla Energy Investor Day in April 2021. That would sort of be like every year. We had autonomy in 2019, Tesla Battery Day in 2020, and then Energy Day in 2021. Not enough people are paying attention to that is going to really drive, accelerating growth of the overall business and become a bigger and bigger part of the story going forward. So I recommend you all to be following Tesla Energy super closely. Of course, I'm going to keep tracking it here on the channel. Would love to know your estimates for the financial piece of this business in the comments below. Please let me know what you think. Huge shout out to our Patreon supporters, producers, fun on the channel. See you guys next time. Peace.